Hello students, a very pleasant good morning to all. As you all know that yesterday I have started Federalism, lesson 2 of your civics. Today we will proceed with how is federalism practiced in India. Under this, today I am going to explain you three topics, that is linguistic states, language policy, center-state relations. And in our next lecture, I will just explain you decentralization. So students, first of all, I will explain you that how is federalism practiced. Constitutional provisions are necessary for the success of federalism, but these are not sufficient. If the federal experiment has succeeded in India, it is not merely because of clearly laid out constitutional provisions. The real success of federalism in India can be attributed to the nature of democratic politics in our country, which ensured that the spirit of federalism, respect for diversity, and desire for living together became a shared ideal in our country. Basically, in this, we just try to explain कि फेडरलिज्म में किस तरीके से हम सभी इंडिविजुअल को, सभी नागरिकों को एकजुट करके एक जगह अकोमोडेट करके एक दूसरे को रिस्पेक्ट देते हैं. हाउ वी प्रोवाइड देम रिस्पेक्ट. Let us look at some of the major ways in which this happened. That is first, linguistic states. The creation of linguistic states was the first and a major test for democratic politics in our country. If you look at the political map of India when it began its journey in 1947 and that of 2006, you will be surprised by the extent of the changes. Many old states have vanished means which comes to an end, जो खत्म हो जाते हैं और नए states form हुए थे on the basis of areas, boundaries, names. States have been changed. But when we just go through that, कि अगर हम इस तरीके से in 1947 the boundaries of several states of India were changed in order to create new states. This was done to ensure that people who spoke same languages, क्या डिसाइड हुआ कि अगर जो लोग एक लैंग्वेज बोल रहे हैं, try to let them in the same state. Some states not on the basis of languages but to recognize differences based on culture, ethnicity or geography. And these were basically the states which were Jharkhand, which lies in South Bihar, Uttarakhand and Nagaland. Totally they are different. So on the basis of languages, these states were formed जिससे एक दूसरे को बहुत अच्छे से ये समझ सकें. When the demand for the formation of states on the basis of language was raised, some national leaders they decided that it would lead to the disintegration of the government. लेकिन हमारी केंद्र सरकार ने क्या डिसाइड किया कि अगर हम लैंग्वेज के बेसिस पे स्टेट्स को फॉर्म करेंगे तो हम यूनिटी एकता बना के इजीली रख सकते हैं. बट द एक्सपीरियंस हैज शोन that the formation of linguistic states has actually made the country more united, and in this manner we just administrated in a systemized manner कि बहुत ही अच्छे से हम प्रशासन को संभाल सकते हैं अगर हम लैंग्वेज बेसिस पे स्टेट्स को फॉर्म करते हैं. Now our second, that is the language policy. Under this, the second test for Indian Federation is the language policy. Our constitution did not give the status of national language to any one language, as Hindi was identified as the official language. But Hindi is the mother tongue of only 40% of people. But if all together, अगर हम सभी को मिला के अगर डिसाइड करें तो नियर अबाउट 50% लोग हैं जो सेकेंड और थर्ड लैंग्वेज में हिंदी को यूज़ करते हैं. So there were many safeguards to protect other languages. इसमें क्या किया, there were 21 other languages recognized as scheduled languages by the constitution. scheduled languages वे होते हैं जिनको एक ऑफिशियल लैंग्वेज का दर्जा मिल जाता है, बट दे आर जस्ट वर्क अंडर मेन लैंग्वेजेस में आते हैं और हमारे सेंसस के अकॉर्डिंग, which I will proceed you in next topic. So in this, a candidate is in an examination conducted. अगर किसी एक पर्टिकुलर स्टेट में कोई बच्चा एग्जाम देने जाता है तो उसको एक तो क्या करते हैं, अपनी इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज यूज होती है, अनदर वी जस्ट गिव द रीजनल लैंग्वेज, जिस स्टेट में वो रहता है उस स्टेट की लैंग्वेज होती है. अगर हम नॉर्दर्न में देखते हैं तो आप देखिए कभी भी कम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स में इंग्लिश के साथ हिंदी. You just take example of your board examination. With English, you get Hindi language also. It's the choice of the child. Much of the government takes place in official language of the concerned state. Unlike Sri Lanka, the leaders, पहले हमारी कंट्री में भी बहुत फोर्स किया गया था that we have to adopt English as the official language. तो according to constitution, the use of English for official purpose was to stop in 1965 में it was decided कि ये रुक जानी चाहिए, क्योंकि अगर हम इंग्लिश पे इतना फोकस करेंगे तो how we can move in a Hindi language, how we can spread our Hindi language. So however, many non-Hindi speaking states demanded that कि जिन्हें हिंदी ही नहीं आती थी, जैसे कि मैंने आपको बताया that our constitution decided that Hindi is their official language, but many of the people of our country were not able to understand Hindi. So they forced, उन्होंने दबाव डाला कि अगर इंग्लिश होगी तो उनके लिए बहुत आसान हो जाएगा किसी भी चीज़ को समझने के लिए. So in Tamil Nadu, this movement took a violent form. The central government responded by agreeing to continue the use of English along with Hindi for official purposes. Many critics think that this solution favored the English-speaking elite. Elite means the great personalities. Promotion of Hindi continues to be the official policy of the government. तो जितने हमारे सेंट्रल के काम होते हैं, all that is in Hindi language. So political leaders also, they help our country in avoiding the kind of situation that Sri Lanka find itself in. जैसे कि श्रीलंका मैंने आपको बताया था कि माओइस्ट पीपल किस तरह से उन लोगों को फोर्स कर रहे थे that they have to adopt Sinhalese language as the official language. Now, our third topic, that is center-state relations. Restructuring the center-state relations is one more way in which federalism. When federalism took place in our country, जब हमारे यहाँ संघवाद बने, उससे पहले क्या था, that as we were having the central government, और उसी गवर्नमेंट को रीजनल पार्टीज नहीं थी, रीजनल स्टेट्स नहीं थे, तो वही पार्टी पूरी कंट्री पे गवर्न करती थी. तो इट क्रिएट प्रॉब्लम कि जो सेंटर में होता था वही चीज स्टेट पे लोगों पर थोपी जाती थी. पीपल वर फोर्स्ड टू अडॉप्ट दैट. हाउ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अरेंजमेंट्स फॉर शेयरिंग पावर वर्क इन रियलिटी depends to a large extent on how the ruling parties and leaders follow these arrangements. For a long time, the same party ruled. जो सेंटर में पार्टी होती थी वही स्टेट में रखते थे, और अगर नहीं तो उन्हें प्रेशराइज किया जाता था that they have to follow the instructions of the central government. As and when the ruling party at the state level was different, the parties that ruled, तो जो अगर अलग पार्टीज हुई तो क्या उन्हें दबाव डाला जाता था. इट क्रिएटेड प्रॉब्लम अमंग द पीपल. सो दिस नॉट एक्सरसाइज देयर राइट्स एज ऑटोनोमस फेडरल यूनिट्स. एज एंड व्हेन द रूलिंग पार्टी एट द स्टेट लेवल was different, the parties that ruled at center tried to undermine. Undermine means dabana. So in those days, the central government would often misuse the constitution to dismiss the state government that were controlled by rival party. Rival means opposition parties, those who were not in favor of the ruling party. This removed the spirit of, इससे क्या होता है, फेडरलिज्म खत्म होता चलेगा. क्यों? They were not able to follow or to practice their own religion. All this changed after 1990. This period saw the rise of regional political parties. फिर क्या हुआ, अगर हमारे पास नेशनल पार्टीज और रीजनल पार्टीज दोनों होती हैं. नेशनल पार्टीज मीन्स when they can contest elections in more than one state. Regional parties means which is being formed and they can contest elections within their state. इससे क्या होगा कि वहीं के लोग के अगर पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज होंगी तो इजिली दे कैन सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लम ऑफ द पीपल. So this was also the beginning of the era of coalition government. Coalition government क्या होती है? When a single party is not able to form the government. So direct, indirectly they need the support of any other political party in forming the government. Coalition means Gathbandhan Sarkar. So as I gave you earlier also, I gave you example of Bharatiya Janata Party. When it joins hand with other political party, then it is called as NDA. NDA means National Democratic Alliance. And when Congress joins hand with other party, then it is called as UPA, means United Progressive Alliance. So this led to a new culture of power, sharing and respect for autonomy of state government, and it's supported by a major judgment of the Supreme Court that if there will be coalition government, naturally you can try to accommodate many of the political parties. And by giving examples, with the help of two examples, I will explain you this. See, with the help of this cartoon showing, you can just know the relationship between the center and the states, that how the state government is demanding powers from the central government. कि सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट क्यों, ये पुराने टाइम में था बिफोर 1990, कि किस तरीके से सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के अकॉर्डिंग दे हैव टू वर्क. अगर वो उसके हिसाब से काम करेंगे तो नेचुरली स्टेट गवर्नमेंट कैन रन. बट फेडरलिज्म हैज टोटली चेंज दिस स्ट्रक्चर. अनदर एग्जाम्पल ऑफ कोलिशन गवर्नमेंट. कोलिशन मीन्स गठबंधन सरकार. या तो एक दूसरे को धमकी दे के, क्योंकि जिसकी मेजोरिटी जो ज़्यादा लोग होते हैं वो दूसरी पार्टीज को जिनको ज्वाइन कराते हैं, दे प्रोवाइड 1 or 2 posts to them and the control is in their hands. As in this they have shown that how Bhajpa is ruling and other small parties, they are under the pressure of Bhajpa party and they have to work. As cycle, that is for Samajwadi Party and this is for, so various parties are there which is forming the coalition government. As earlier I explained you about the linguistic structure, see linguistic diversity of India, that according to the census which is being recorded, that is 1500 distinct, हमारी कंट्री में more than 1500 लैंग्वेजेस हैं जो सबकी मदर टंग्स मानी जाती हैं, बट ऑल टुगेदर दे आर अंडर सम मेजर लैंग्वेजेस जैसे कि भोजपुरी, मगधी, बुंदेलखंडी, छत्तीसगढ़ी, राजस्थानी, भिली एंड मेनी अदर्स वर ग्रुप टुगेदर अंडर. इन सारी लैंग्वेजेस को हिंदी का ही एक पार्ट माना जाता है. इवन आफ्टर दिस ग्रुपिंग द सेंसस फाउंड 114 मेजर लैंग्वेजेस. अब इन्हीं ग्रुपिंग करने के बाद भी हमारी कंट्री में 114 लैंग्वेजेस मानी गई हैं. अमंग दैट, on the basis of 8th schedule of Indian Constitution, there are 22 languages. अब इन्हें दो उसमें डिवाइड किया है according to 8th schedule. One that is called as scheduled languages, which comes under the category of official languages, जिसमें कि आपको मैंने ये बताया कि जो languages दी हुई हैं basically it is under that. The scheduled languages are the languages which the government is bound to develop. The Indian government is obligated to develop 22 languages, जिसमें आपकी असमीज, बंगाली, बोडो, डोगरी, गुजराती, हिंदी, कन्नड़, कश्मीरी, कोंकणी, मैथिली, मलयालम, मणिपुरी, मराठी, नेपाली, उड़िया, पंजाबी, संस्कृत, संथाली, सिंधी, तमिल, तेलुगु as well as Urdu is there. Now under non-scheduled languages, these are those languages which are included in the Indian Constitution. These are not according to official status and are not used for official administrative purpose. So basically under this, these languages is not used, is not bound to develop them. उस पर कोई जोर जबरदस्ती नहीं है कि इन्हें आप आगे Okay. Now, with the help of this small chart tabulation, I am showing you that people belonging to various language. See the percentage of that. असमीज जो हमारी पूरी कंट्री में प्रपोर्शन है वो है आपकी 1.6%. Those who are speaking असमीज लैंग्वेज. बंगाली that is 8.3%. बोडो 0.1%. डोगरी 0.2%. Gujarati 4.9%. Hindi that is 40.2% proportion of speakers. Kashmiri that is 0.5%. Konkani 0.2%. Methli that is 0.9%. And with the help of this tabulation, you are able to go through all these proportion of speakers. And with the help of this, I am today going to sum up my topic. Now, have a good day.